Hi Aries, Trishna here. Welcome to your March 2020 Love Tarot reading. So I'm going to be doing this video a little bit differently than I've been doing the past few videos. I'm going to be focusing on your energy, and then I'm going to focus on your partner's energy, and then I'm also going to focus on your joint energy together, so the energy of the relationship. Because relationships tend to mirror each other a lot, the energies can crisscross, so keep that in mind whenever I'm speaking about your energy or your partner's energy. Sometimes they can be flipped, so listen to this reading the way that it applies best for you and your situation. So for the intuitive portion, what I'm feeling for your energy, Aries, is I feel like you are doing your best to stay positive. You're doing your best to stay in a hopeful kind of mindset with regards to your relationship. But on some level, you feel a little bit stressed and you do have a little bit of worry that maybe things aren't really going to work out in your relationship. I feel like maybe you're having some differences and not really seeing eye to eye on some situations, or maybe you're just feeling like you or your partner may decide at some point that the easiest path forward is maybe to separate instead of working on your differences. I feel like you have a little bit of apprehension with regards to your relationship and whether or not it's really going to work out and continue, and whether or not your partner is going to want to stay in this relationship, or if they're just going to say, it might just be easier if we're friends, or it might just be easier if we went off and found somebody else that is a better match for each one of us. So that's what I feel like your energy is right now, Aries. Again, remember, the energies can be flipped. So with regards to your partner's energy, what I'm feeling for them is I feel like they don't really know that you are feeling this way, and they're not feeling this way at all. I feel like they're as happy as they can be. They think that things are going really well. They're not really worried about the same problems that you're worried about. Like, the things that you consider an issue, they don't really see as an issue. They just kind of see it as something that gets discussed, or just something that's a part of all relationships. So I feel like your partner is actually in a really good place. And maybe, Aries, you shouldn't really be so worried about whatever you think is like a kink or like an issue in your relationship. It's not going to be a huge issue. And that's what I feel is the energy of your relationship. Is I feel like Aries, like, I feel like you are most of these issues, you're making these issues a little bit bigger than they need to be. Like, these issues, they are important. Like, maybe the two of you aren't seeing eye to eye on finances, or how to share accounts, or how to spend money in a shared account, or something like that. That is a big area of your relationship that needs to have full attention. That's like something that can make or break a relationship. But I feel like your problems in that big area, like finance, for example, the problems that you two have really aren't that big. Like, they're things that can be worked out, they're things that can be discussed, they're things that can very easily be overcome. So the issues may be in very big areas of life, or very big areas of a relationship, but the actual issue, even though it's within a really important realm, the actual issue really isn't something to break up over, or something to just give up on. So Aries, I feel like a lot of this is in your head, and that you're maybe worrying about things that you don't need to worry about so much, and that your partner really isn't worried about this. So try to calm down a little, try to stay positive as you've been trying to do, and just work on working these things out with your partner. Like, things will get worked out. Maybe your partner is being a little bit too easygoing about it, and maybe you're being too stern or rigid about it, like too focused on it. So there is a happy medium there that the two of you can come to, where sometimes, yeah, you need to be more focused on that issue and solving it. And sometimes, yeah, like, you can just let things go. So there needs to be a balance between the two of you, but this relationship, I feel, can work out, and these issues are not worth breaking up over, and your partner is not thinking about breaking up with you over any of that. So don't be concerned about that. This is something that can work out. All right, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards. All right, Aries, so for the tarot portion of this reading, I pull 2 cards to represent your energy, 2 cards to represent your partner's energy, and 2 cards to represent the energy of your relationship together as a partnership. So for your energy, Aries, what I got was the Ace of Fire and the Call card. The Call card is the Judgment card in the traditional tarot. So, and by the way, I'm using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed for this video. So basically what this is telling me, Aries, is this is telling me that you are kind of distancing yourself away from your relationship a little bit. This may not be showing itself in the physical realm. Like, it may not be taking time apart. You may not be avoiding your partner, but emotionally, I feel like you are separating yourself. You are distancing yourself a little bit. You're kind of caving in a little bit from the partnership. And I feel like it's because you feel a little bit vulnerable. You feel like maybe you're going to get burned. I don't know if you've gotten burned in the past by whatever issues you see in the relationship right now. Like you're just worried about how things are going to turn out, and it's making you kind of become a little bit more reclusive on the internal level. But I also feel like with the Judgment card, I feel like it represents two things. I feel like it represents what we are talking about before, where you are trying to stay hopeful, you're trying to stay positive, you're trying to stay open to the situation and positive ways in which it can turn out. And I also feel like the card is telling you things are going to work out. Do what you're doing. Really try to open yourself up and allow yourself to be vulnerable, because I don't feel like you're going to really truly get hurt in this relationship. Things are going to work out. You just have to allow them to. You have to be open to them working out. You have to kind of put your trust in that and let things unfold. Like things need to unfold, and I feel like you're not letting it unfold. You're holding way too tightly to where you are right now. And you're holding so tightly that you're not letting you're just not letting the flow happen. You're not letting the universe allow the next steps to happen in your favor. You're just trying to stay very stagnant in your situation instead of letting things solve themselves. Now, for your partner's energy, I got the 5 of air and the 8 of fire. And these cards are very like glossy, so I hope that you can see them. So with the 5 of air, this actually goes a little bit against what I was feeling in the intuitive portion, where in the intuitive portion, I felt like your partner wasn't really focused on the issues that you're focused on. They weren't really noticing it. They were feeling pretty happy and like easygoing about it. With the 5 of air, I feel like actually they are aware of the issues. I feel like they know that they're there, but I also feel like they're doing their best. Like they're all in. They know that there are issues. They know that there's things that need to be worked out, and they're willing to do whatever it takes, and they are doing whatever it takes. Like they are walking a tightrope, but they're doing whatever needs to be done. They're not planning on quitting at all. If anything, they're bunkering down even more. And so they're aware of the issues and they're doing their best and they're here for it. They're here completely for you and for resolving things and for the relationship. So you really don't need to worry, Aries, about them possibly leaving, because maybe leaving might seem like the smartest choice for them or the easiest choice for the two of you or something like that. With the 8 of fire, I feel like that represents that they're trying to be calm about it. They're trying to be easygoing about it. They're trying to find this balance between like truly being there for you and like doing what needs to be done, and also having a nice gentle attitude about how they go about making things happen and resolving things. So I feel like their energies in kind of opposites, but it's balanced, where they're trying really hard to find solutions and to make things work, but they're also trying really hard to be very calm and gentle and loving about it. And so it's like rigid and like flowy, but they're trying to come to that balance. They're trying to combine those two aspects to really provide something that's very good for you and your relationship. Like they really care about it. For your joint energy, I got the Queen of Earth, and I also got the Wheel of Fortune. It's called Fortune Wheel in the Good Tarot, but it's the Wheel of Fortune card. So with this, basically what I feel this represents is, I feel like the Queen of Earth represents that there are some hesitations in this relationship. I feel like, the way that it looks on my table, that card is like closer to your side. So I feel like that really represents your part of this relationship, where there's some hesitations. You're kind of looking over your shoulder a little bit. You're wondering about things. You are keeping your guard up in some ways. But with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this represents just hold on. Like the wheel's about to turn, things are about to get better, but you have to hold on and you have to know that that's coming. Like you have to be open to seeing how things are going to shift for the positive. If you're not open to seeing it, it could all change, but you still won't see it. So you need to open your eyes. You need to be willing to let in a positive outcome. Be willing to see the positive outcome. Because like I was saying before, sometimes a positive outcome or something that we want is right in our face, but because we are so caught up in our fears, or we're so caught up in our worries and our uncertainties and our doubts, it's right there, but we can't accept it. We're like, but what if? But what if this isn't, but it's right there. So you have to relax a little bit. You have to open yourself up, like we were talking about with the Judgment card. Yeah, the Judgment card. You have to open yourself up. You have to allow yourself to see the positive outcome if the positive outcome shows up, which it will, because the Wheel of Fortune is saying that it will. So Aries, that is what I'm feeling for you for the YouTube portion of this video. As you know from my other videos, I do extended readings. If you're interested in that, we're going to go into a lot more depth in each one of these areas, your energy, your partner's energy, and the energy of your relationship. I'm going to pull a lot more cards for each section, and we will talk a lot more in depth about each one. So if you're interested in that, you can access it at my Patreon page. The link is in the description box, and it's also at the end of this video. It's www.patreon.com/Trishna. So if you're interested in that, I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.